Hey folks! The highlight of the latest live stream of me and Chris playing PCG Anniversary Special 2 was the return of the rich kid, just as rich and just as evil as he's always been. But who is the rich kid exactly? The Rich Kid first appeared in the Series 1 PCGs, the ones from when we were kids. He was one of a few recurring enemies that Zack fought consistently besides the Company and the Nazis. In this PCG, one of the few surviving ones from this era, Zack has to navigate the neighborhood around the Rich Kid's mansion and break into it to save someone, I think? He was a greedy kid who took what he wanted. Since that period, we haven't seen the Rich Kid much at all. He doesn't appear in any of Chris's Series 2 PCGs, nor any of those from Mark III, the current series, at least not before PCG Anniversary Special 2. Kurt did take a stab at modernizing the character. For his Resident Evil PCG, he included a character called the Rich Guy, because he's a grown-up now, not a kid anymore. This version has him as a dignified, upper-class guy with a monocle. But this game was never finished or played, so who knows how it would have played out. He's also briefly mentioned in my Alien Invasion series, where, on the news, an anchor speculated that some recent attacks might be due to the known terrorist, the Rich Kid. The idea of him being a publicly known terrorist was a new one. He wasn't responsible for the attacks, it was aliens. His first full reappearance was in my PCG, Zuvak, The Life and Times of a Clown on a Stick, where we get his origin story. Zuvak, still working for the Company when the game takes place, hires a poor kid off the street who was so poor he didn't even have a name. Zuvak gave him the nickname Neo. The kid, despite being poor, was principled and wouldn't do anything Zuvak asked that was unethical. But Zuvak was able to convince him to give in, at first by convincing him some of the actions were okay, but also by offering him large sums of money. The kid resisted at first, but eventually gave in to his desire for money, like, why shouldn't I? Everyone else behaves way worse than me, and they get all the money and the praise. I do good stuff, and no one cares. What's the point? Zuvak gave him the name the Rich Kid. Little did he know, he'd created a monster that he'd later be fighting against alongside Zack. That brings us to PCG Anniversary Special 2, the first full reappearance of the Rich Kid that isn't a backstory or a mention or an unpublished concept. And it might be his most significant appearance in modern times yet. We find out he still calls himself the Rich Kid as an adult. This seems to contradict Kurt's version, the Rich Guy, but it's fitting. This rich kid is petty, greedy, and paranoid. He blames Zack for everything going wrong. This sets up the Rich Kid's personality for future appearances, and now that we have a clearer idea who the Rich Kid is, I'd love to see him appear in more people's PCGs and be fleshed out further. The Rich Kid is one of the classic villains of the PCG universe that's been forgotten in recent times, so it's the perfect time for a comeback. Thanks so much for watching, folks, and PCG you later.